All right, so today we will be building a rig. This is going to be the AM5 ice rig. So I'll take you through the components we've got over here, and then we'll get started. All right, so over here we've got the Antec CX300 ARGB chassis. We've got the Gigabyte A50 Aorus Elite Wi-Fi 7 ICE motherboard, AMD Ryzen 7 9700X processor. We've got two 16 gigs of Guile Orion VRGB DDR5 memory modules. We've got the crucial GEN5 NVMe 2 terabyte up to 14,500 megabytes per second. Super fast storage drive. Then we've got the unnecessarily expensive Gigabyte Aero edition of the GeForce RTX5070Ti. It's a 16 gig graphics card. For the CPU cooling, we've got the Antec Luna 360 ARGB cooler. That is a 360 millimeter cooler. We obviously have the white edition. The ice version of the motherboard is the white edition. The memory is white. The storage and the the storage and the CPU are covered up under the white cooler and the white heatsinks of the motherboard. And we've got a lovely white Antec Neo Eco 1000 watt power supply with a 10-year warranty. Isn't that lovely? All right, so let's just get right into it. I'm going to unbox our chassis there and we'll get started. All right, so before we get started with unboxing the chassis, we will start with mounting these goodies onto the motherboard. That's always a fun part. First of all, this is going to be special. So let's see what's included in the box. So we are basically doing a series of unboxing videos. So we've got a sleek Wi-Fi antenna over here, also in white, beautiful. This is a G connector. So all your case headers connect onto there. We've got a beautiful Aorus sticker. And of course, we've got our mascot magnet here. He may end up shaking the camera. Make some room for him to move. Got some white SATA cables. Beautiful. We've got some what appears to be SSD thermal pads. And then we've got some, what is this? Spacers. So we've got one thin spacer, almost looks like a thermal pad. And then we've got one thicker like spacer. It's quite firm, but I'll figure out what that is for. And we've got another bag with the same contents. We've got the multilingual installation guide. And then we've got the multi-model. This is just your regulatory notices and so on. But here we have the main event. It certainly has some weight to it. You can feel that quality. Open it up. All right, that is beautiful. Let's take a moment to appreciate this. Give you that angle. And then we've got the rear. Even though we never see it, it looks Pretty crazy, with some Aorus art going on there. We've got some ports back there with the IO shield pre-fitted. Beautiful. 4 white memory slots. Got the CPU socket and various inputs and outputs. I like that all the headers are on this side. What is interesting to me is that you have an HDMI connector on the board itself on the inside. There you can see the model. I'll do this angle. It took me a lot of research to figure out the best value between all the components. We'll mount the main components onto the board now. So I'll start off by lifting the CPU clamping arm and raising the socket up. And then we'll get our CPU over here and open it up. There we have it. Just work carefully with this because this is all expensive, brand new hardware. So then I just need to confirm the orientation. It usually has this little arrow. See up in this corner, there's a little arrow up in that corner. It's on the other side as well. And there's typically a little indicating arrow. So over there, you can't see it while the socket is closed. And that is where this arrow aligns to. So it'll go in like that. And it also has 2 little notches on each side that line up with the notches on the chip. So you can feel it is now firmly in position. If you try to move it to the side gently, then it won't move, or it'll only move a little bit. So usually you would close it now, and then this should pop out. That's typically how they work. And it's now firmly in place. And this guy is to protect the pins on the motherboard. So you keep this in case you ever need to warranty the motherboard. You need to fit this in place. Otherwise, they may void your warranty, plainly based on the fact that this wasn't installed to protect the pins. Let's move on to the RAM. Looks like we don't need the knife. So we have the RAM crisis. RAM is really expensive. So it took me a long while to confirm that this is the best value that I can get, while balancing it with the performance in line with the objective here of getting high performance out of this build. That is beautiful. And it's going to blend in nicely. Beautiful. All right, so let's fit these. So I should probably look up the full manual online, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to use A2 and B2. Those are typically the ones to use for running 2 modules when there are 4 slots. Beautiful. Let's install the SSD. Come on. This is all you get. Just a little piece of plastic holding the SSD. And then you can flip it around so you can see the drive in all its glory. So this high performance drive does not come with an heatsink. That does not mean you can use it without a heatsink. You can, but it won't perform optimally, and you wouldn't want to be putting it under heavy loads, because it's without a heatsink because the motherboard has a heatsink. So I don't want the model with the heatsink. to open. It looks like it's a tool-free, like almost like a hood or a bonnet. There we go. So we've got space for 3 drives, and I believe this is the main slot for the Gen 5. So I'll pull off this tape. It says Gen 5 over there, in case there was any doubt. So we're holding it upright at a slight angle and just wiggling it in there gently. And then this is also a tool-free design. It just snaps back. And there's a little notch that goes over the SSD over there. And then similar to this main mechanism, and we'll just pull off this and we can place it back into position. So there's 2 notches here that slide into the top of these 2 silver slots, and that is what holds it in position. And it probably has to line up, but it looks beautiful. So over here it says team up, fight on, team up, fight on. I don't know why they had to do that twice. Here on the PCIe slot, it says ultra durable PCIe Gen 5. What is that? Armor. Okay, excellent. So we've got an armored slot for the graphics card. CPU, RAM, SSD installed. Now we are ready to open up this chassis. So I'll put the motherboard to the side. All right, so we've got the white color. Let's check her out. So then these handles like to hang up. So I have to flip them outwards like this so that the foam pieces can actually slide out. So I'll do the same on this side. I don't prefer like bending these things out of shape, but what can you do? Got a couple of ports here, power button. I believe this is the LED button for the fans, 2 USB 2.0s, separate headphone jack and mic ports, and a USB 3 port. So let's go ahead and take off this side panel. So we've just got 1 screw. You don't need to remove it all the way. It raises up. And I'll place it in the box here between the foam pieces. So it looks like this. Front panel can also be removed. I would actually like to try that now. Look at this guy. Let's just welcome him. His name is Magnet, and he likes to be included. Let's see if I can remove. So there's 2 screws. Just need to unclip. I like to see. There we go. So you don't actually raise it up. You just unclip it upwards, and then it comes out this way. So this looks sick. We've got room for activities. Now we shall remove these screws over here. And also, you don't have to remove them all the way. They sit in the side panel. Okay, so we can get started here. Oh, it is a shame that they've done these in black. I'll just unplug a few things for now. Organizing the cables. It's hours, days of our lives spent on cable management. But we like to think we specialize in patience over here. And look at Magnet. He's since been sterilized, so we've renamed him to Maggie. So you see these 3 fans. We have its cables going away. There's the rear fan over there, cables going away. And then these black top units, we'll have them going that way. So here we've got slots for 2 to 2.5 inch storage drives, which we don't need to use. It's so much more convenient. We don't need to run SATA power, SATA data cables, or anything of that sort between the motherboard and the power supply and the storage drives. We leave these units unoccupied. It's time for the power supply. So let's open this up. See, I like attention to detail. This is a black power cable. That's unacceptable for a white power supply. And it includes some black screws. At least they give you some white cable ties and white Velcro strips for cable management. So that's always handy. So we'll keep that. Lovely bag of modular cables. And the power supply itself comes in a beautiful little bag. Oh, I'm so excited about this one. I didn't really need anything more than an 850. But the options in white are so limited. I was going to have to buy a very expensive 850 watt. And this one, the price of this one was so similar that I may as well go for the 1000 watt. So there you can see the label. We've got a hybrid mode button on there, the usuals. Got the nice, lovely white setup. A lot of ports on there. When selecting a power supply, because the tips of the cables should not be black. They should be white. Like this. The connector on this is white. And the cable is white as well. If you're doing a white build, like this part will be hidden. But on the other side, I saw some power supplies put black connectors on. No, that will not do. Okay, so power supply is ready to go in. Nice and compact. Alright, so let's check out the included cables. Beautiful antique packaging. Always cut towards yourself, kids. Alright, so we've got the 24 pin, I believe. This side goes on the power supply and this side goes into the motherboard. White cables and white connectors. MSI, I'm talking to you. If you sell a white power supply, put white connectors on now. So this one we'll be using. So we've got a power supply side and we've got full SATA, what is this, female power connectors. I consider them females. We'll be using one of those. A 6-pin on the power supply side, and once again, we've got 4 male Molex, sorry, these are female Molex connectors because the prongs go in there. Same with the SATA ones. The slot slides into that connector, which makes this connector the female. We will not be using the Molex ones. Okay, so we've got 3 SATA cables. We'll only need 1. And then it looks like we only have 1 Molex cable. Okay. So we've got 4 PCIe 8-pin connectors. So 1 to 1. 4 of them. So you can power a beefy old school graphics card. RTX 30 series and older will most likely use this. RTX 40 series only needs 1 of these. This unit runs on 600 watts. So this is very convenient. We've got the one side on the power supply and the other side in the graphics card. And it looks like it doesn't matter which side goes where because they are not labeled. So that's also another plus. And then we've got 2 4+4 pins. You can see they separate there. This is the motherboard side. 2 of these cables for the CPU power. We're doing a gigabyte build. I haven't done gigabyte builds in a while. So we won't be using any of these. We'll be using all 3 of these. So this is what we'll be using. Got the T2s, let's do it like this. We've got motherboard. We've got 2 CPU cables, 1 graphics card cable, and 1 SATA cable. This is all we need. And all of these can go into the bag. And then back into the box. Beautiful presentation. I love it. All right, so let the assembly commence. So the power supply. Very simple. The port always needs to exit out the back. The fan always needs to face down, because where else will the airflow go? You want it to go straight out. So it pulls in from here, blows out over there. This is like a masterpiece, a work of art. So I'll do it like this. First order of business. Got the standoff tool. We've got some standoffs over here. And looks like we are missing 3 of them. They are typically included. We will be adding them now. And now the motherboard can enter the chat. Oh, this is a bit tight. Anyway, so just be careful of where you hold the motherboard. I like to hold it here by the heat sink. And then navigate it around the fans and the standoffs. You don't want the bottom scraping against the standoffs. But it's also nice to see once the standoffs line up, then you know the motherboard is in position. So I'm ready to screw that down. Excellent. The motherboard is fitted. Let's get started with some cable management, and then we'll take it from there. So I'll put the CPU cables in first, because once we fit the radiator up here, the space is severely limited in this corner here. So I've learned by making that mistake before. I see that the graphics card power slot is at the very end. It'll become hard to access. I will plug that in now, because it's very important that you plug that in securely. It runs up to 600 watts, which is quite a lot. Then we'll fit the 2 CPU power cables. So now that we have those in place, you don't actually need to plug them into the power supply. That's the benefit of a modular power supply. So I will leave these unplugged for the moment. So I believe it's time for the liquid cooler to enter the chat. Firstly, we've got a bag here with all of our sockets, brackets, and screws, adapters, and so on. This looks like it may be the AMD one. We'll check it out in a moment. This is most likely your Intel one. They work for quite a number of sockets. I'm not sure if you can see over there. Universal. You get a little tube of thermal compound. I prefer to use my own so that I know the spec. And I'll use a high performance compound. Then we have various bags of screws for the Intel 2011, for the rest of your Intel options. And these are typically to mount your fans, or to mount the radiator actually to the chassis. Here we go. Beautiful cooler set. Take the plastics off. Okay. Take it out of the bag. You get a manual with this. Oh, would you look at that? So we'll go straight ahead, mount this, get it out of the way. So this top part comes off magnetically. So it goes in this way. We line up the mounting holes. All right, so this is where we're at. Okay, so we've got this bag of brackets. It says AMD on. Got some wires hanging over here that's bridging the fans together. And then at the very end, they join up. Those will be the radiator fans that bridge together like that. I want to start by taking this long wire out. And I'll show you, this is where we're bringing it out. That looks pretty clean. Happy with that. To mount this, it looks like it wants to go like that. So for AMD, it's got some arrows here, CPU with a little arrow, so you know which way the bracket should point towards the CPU. So let's remove these guys. Remember to keep these brackets with the motherboard. So put it in the motherboard's box. They've done a really nice thing. They've secured the backplate onto the motherboard, which is not usually the case. Screw these in. Black brackets. Beautiful. This one can just screw down onto the board. It doesn't tell you to apply thermal paste, but I'll be doing that now. We've got this OCPC ICE, T for Tango, G for Golf, -4, high performance thermal paste. You can look that up if you want to know more about it. Add some here to the CPU. Looks like we're running low, but we don't need so much. So I'll put a dab in the center and then 4 more smaller dabs between the center and the corners. It's quite a strange shape AMD decided to go with here. Oh, looks like we just ran out. Lovely. I'll grab another one. There we go. Perfect. So just try to line up the holes here by eye. Just the 2 that I can see. And then just center it out. The thermal paste allows you to move it about a little bit. I'll just get the screw started by hand. This one is a little bit tight to access, so I'll access it like that. It really helps to have a magnetic screwdriver. So that one is all the way secured. Don't force it. You'll feel when it bottoms out. That one is good. And that one is good. So I want these guys to go up and out. I'll just bring the one back in to plug in the pump. Oh no way. That was so close. Let's guide it into position. There we go. Okay, got that one. My hands never disappoint. They just take a bit longer. These 3 top units plug into the CPU fan header, and then this unit, the 4-pin, respectively. This unit plugs into the CPU OPT. I believe it's optional, but it's meant for the pump. And so that's already plugged in, so I'm now plugging in these 3 units into the CPU fan header. And that'll also be another challenge for the hands. This is tough. Oh, yes. Now we've got this mess to sort out. So I like to get these out of the way. I'm just going to secure them. These ones also. Just get them out of the way for the moment. Something like that. So I'm doing all the fan and the lighting wiring first. Get those tiny little buggers out of the way. Cable management is done for the most part. This is how we're looking. There we go. That's not too bad. All of this is hidden, so I'm not doing too much there just yet. Just notice that this one wasn't properly seated. Just having a look in there to make sure they're all seated well. Just noticed something else. I usually put these guys in temporarily. So I need to replace this one with the cable tie. I'll secure that. And then I can take this flexible guy out. There we go. All right, now it's time for the main event. Let's unbox the graphics card. All right, this is a big moment. So let's unbox this baby. That's the back side of the box. 3 display ports, 1 HDMI. DisplayPort is 2.1A. HDMI is 2.1B. Oh, looks like we're getting a 4 years warranty if we register it. So that's lovely, within 30 days of purchase. So we'll do that absolutely. Because you never get more than 3 years warranty on a graphics card. Well, rarely. I haven't seen it. But that's how they catch you. They make you register to get the 3rd year. Good unboxing experience. Gigabyte logo. Beautiful. That should obviously have been over there. Let's see what we've got in here. Usually not much. So, Aorus warranty card to register the 4-year warranty. Beautiful reminder. I'm glad I opened this up. Usually I won't even bother. Installation guide, quick guide. That's it. I'm just taking that warranty card out, so I'll remember to register the 4th year. Let's just get this to lock in again. Beautiful. Alright, so let's put this to the side. Oh my. Yo, what have we got here? Let's see. Maybe this is a support rail or something. No idea. See, this is a longer piece. What is this? I don't know. Is this meant for like vertical mounting? Don't know. This. Oh my. What is this? Like, I figured maybe it's a stand that raises up. No idea what this is. Because we've got a soft like foot piece there. Okay, yeah. Maybe it's part of that whole situation. Let's see this. Oh, they're very kindly including some screws. I'm guessing that's all part of this rail system. No idea what that's about. What have we got here? Oh, we got the famous 888 pin to the new style of power connector adapter. So if you still have an old power supply, you can use this. And come on, Gigabyte. Why is it black? Like, seriously. Anyway, let's go straight to the main event. This thing looks insane. That is one beefy graphics card. Oh my, oh my. Oh, damn, son. Look at that. This thing consumes 3 slots. And then some. Let's call it 3.5 slots. Got our power connector over there. We do have a little switch over here. Performance mode or silent mode. So naturally, the switch is on performance mode by default. So like that. But oh my, look at this. I'm speechless. Yeah, let's get some of this plastics off. see where's the peel zone. So people like to leave plastics on, but on certain things like chargers, in this case graphics card, hardware, this generates heat. You don't want the plastic melting while it's in use, or like melting on it, or even just mild heat could fuse the plastic on, so it's harder to remove. So as much as I would like to leave the plastic on here, I'm not going to. And it's a good excuse, even if it could stay on. It's so satisfying to remove the plastic. Just bask in the beauty of this unit while I pack the box away. Take it all in. My oh my. Let's go. Remove this guy. And then we need to open up some of the 3 of these rear slots. Now she should be ready to finally enter the chat. Damn, this thing is enormous. Clicked into position. Wow. I'm speechless. So the power connector needs to enter the chat over there. Come on, there we go. But it's a good thing we have that armored slot. I love how it sits almost in the center of the build. Second screw going in. And the third screw. She is screwed down. It is 10 p.m. on Monday night, and I wouldn't be anywhere else. That is looking sick. Now for another satisfying bit, peeling off that piece. Stuff like this, please keep it. Put it in the graphics card box. Doesn't hurt anyone. If you're not keeping the graphics card box, I do recommend that you keep it. But if you're not, put it in the motherboard box and keep all the goodies in the, keep it together. Absolutely stunning. I present to you the Aorus /Aero Ryzen 7 5070 Ti Gen 5 2TB DDR5. I believe it's, what is the spec on this DDR5? 6000 megahertz. 360mm radiator, liquid cooled, 1000-watt power supply. All white. Shall we call it the ice station? Damn, this thing looks sick. Okay. It's time to fire it up. Those LEDs. The lighting is just going to be off the charts. Go ahead and fit this top piece. Finally, I'm flipping the switch on the power supply. And we shall be powering on now. It's a little bit underwhelming. There we go. That's better. Graphics card doesn't seem to have much lighting. Maybe I'm not patient enough. I'm not sure if we are stable. I think we are. I've got this little portable monitor. Got the portable keyboard. All of that's plugged in. So we have a red VGA light, even though the fans on the graphics card are indeed spinning. And we have no image on screen. So we are stuck on a red VGA light. Isn't that just lovely? I'm just switching the power cable. It's working. But it's looking absolutely insane. So I'll install Windows on this and then I'll do the final photo shoot in a moment.